Good morning, Hampton Roads. How's everybody doing today? And welcome to Virginia's only local real estate investing podcast, where we get to talk about local investors, local deals, and all things local. I'm your host, the founder of the Master Investor Academy and author of my best-selling book, Work Just Gets in the Way of Making Money, Scott Jelinek. How's everybody doing today? If you have any questions, concerns, comments, properties you'd like to sell, anything you'd like to discuss right here, go ahead and text me at 757-699-4227. That's 757-699-4227. And once again, if you have not done so already, go ahead and subscribe to this channel and leave me a like if you're watching this on YouTube. I greatly appreciate it. Lets me know that you're out there watching. And if you are listening on the podcast, go ahead and leave me a rating and review. We have been blowing up the amount of people that are listening to the podcast. It's gone up like 10x over this last month. We are somewhere hovering right around 1,800 now per day, per episode, which is really, really good considering we're only been doing this for maybe 2 months now. So it's getting there. We're getting a lot of activity, and so I really appreciate you guys listening. And I really want you to text me if there's anything specific that you do want me to go over. So I did not make a podcast for you on Friday. I had an early appointment and I got a contract, and I'll tell you about it briefly. This was in Virginia Beach, and it's interesting. The house was in great condition, but it's something that we always talk about. When the seller is ready, it doesn't mean that you're taking advantage. It doesn't mean the seller doesn't know what the property's worth. It doesn't mean anything. Sometimes the seller's just ready. I mean, so this guy knew what the property's worth. He knows exactly what I'm going to do with it. He knows exactly what I'm going to sell it for. He don't want to mess with it anymore. He's over it. And so we actually met a couple times, but on Friday was the last meeting. I did a contract on it. And I believe, and I won't know, but I will take you guys along for the ride. I do believe we'll probably make somewhere in the neighborhood between $45,000 and $55,000 on it. So awesome deal. Like I tell you guys, I don't do a ton of deals anymore, but we don't have to do a lot when you have very low overhead. You can only do a handful of deals a month and crush it. And so I am going to take you on that one. I'm going to close on it myself. So I'm not wholesaling this one. I'm going to close on it myself, and I'm going to take you along for the ride throughout the whole process, all the way up to the check. So you guys can see the house before, what I'm doing with it, and then how much we actually end up with a check. I think it'll be great to go over it step by step. So then I had, this goes back to Friday. Then I planned on coming back and doing a podcast for you in the evening, but then I had to go for margaritas. That's why I said contracts and cocktails. I had to go for margaritas with one of my coaching students who closed on his first deal. Congratulations. And so we go out and we try and celebrate his first deal. And this deal, I'm hopefully going to have him on this week on the deal of the week. Great story. I absolutely love the story of how he got the deal, where it came from. And it was his first wholesale, and he made $15,000 on it, just over $15,000. I think it was $15,015. So we ended up drinking a few margaritas, and then that was it for Friday. And then Saturday, we had I had a coaching client, a new coaching client from Baltimore came into town, ended up at Chicho's. We did our meeting there. They opened up a new Chicho's, I think I told you guys about already, right by Sam's Club on Virginia Beach Boulevard. And so they had a private room in there, a meeting room. So we did our meeting in there, which was excellent. And then we went next door to, what's that place called? The Yard. The Yard, it's a shake place. And I got mixed feelings on that place. I don't know if you guys have been there. I got mixed feelings in the sense that the ice cream was great. The shakes were fantastic. So we can start and finish there. It was absolutely great. Shakes were fantastic. The mixed feelings comes for two reasons. One is it's very expensive. So 3 of us went, my wife, myself, and my son, and the bill was $43 for milkshakes, right? So that's one thing. Number 2 is it's a huge ordeal. Like they have these shakes, and then there's a brownie on top of it and all kinds of stuff. And although it was really good, I feel like it's the type of place that you'll never go back to. Like you'll go once because it's an experience and you want to go and see it, and and you've heard about it and you want to go check it out. And I recommend you go check it out. It was good. But I don't really think it's a place I would ever go back to. If I just wanted a shake, I would either go to just a regular place with shakes or an ice cream shop. And so I don't know that I would actually go there a second time, which is why I have mixed feelings on the longevity of the place. But I like it. It's mobbed right now. It's been mobbed since they opened. But I know it's a ton of people doing the same thing that I did, which is go to check it out and have the experience. I don't know how the longevity is going to be with people going multiple times or making that their place where they go regularly. Time will tell. We'll see. I always used to joke and say I was going to start a business called Dream Crushers, and it was just a joke because I see people pop up all the time with these businesses, and from the second I see it, sometimes I'm like, oh, they're going to make it 3 months, and I feel bad saying it. And I was like, I'm going to start a business. Let somebody tell me their plan, pay me $100. I smack them across the face and send them on their way, and I'll save them 30 grand, 50 grand, whatever their startup cost would have been. So anyway, enough about that. So then we had Valentine's Day yesterday. And I didn't do anything too crazy for Valentine's Day. We went to a Mexican restaurant right around here, had a few more margaritas, you're noticing a pattern. And then here we are today on Beautiful Monday. And so what I wanted to talk to you about today is one of my guys texted me. He's got a deal that really doesn't have a whole lot of equity in. It's tight. But he said the seller is willing to let him buy it sub 2. Now, there's a lot of debate on this. Some people, and some people even teach this, and I was one of, not teaching it, but I was one who believed in it up until the bust. Some people will buy anything they can buy sub 2. And even if they say, oh, well, I can make a couple $100 a month, very little money out of pocket, just add it to my portfolio. It's going to be paid off in 26 years or 18 years or whatever it may be. And so they deal with it. I believed in that up until the bust. Moving forward, 2021, I do not believe in that anymore. I will buy sub 2. But I only buy sub 2 for a couple reasons. So if I'm buying sub 2 today, either A, it has to have equity in it, meaning I might have only wanted to pay 165 cash. I might pay 185 sub 2, because there's some balance there because you're not going to have any hard money. You don't have to raise money, that sort of stuff. So I can pay a little more, but I'm not going to, if it's worth 2.25, I'm not going to pay 220 or 210 or even 2.25 just because it's sub 2. Some people do that though, because they're like, well, I can still cash flow. That's not me though. The second thing is I will sub 2 all day long if I'm going to take it and turn it. If I'm going to renovate the property, and this way you're not doing it on hard money. You just make the monthly payment while you're waiting to sell it, or a wholesale, same thing, piece of cake. I love sub 2s for that. The last thing, and this is what my guy called me about, and so I'm actually going to send him this video as his answer for it. So he called me about, he's got a sub 2, very little equity in it. The person just wants what they owe on it. What should he do? And so my advice was, there's no value, in my opinion, to renovate it and resell it. There wasn't enough space, but somebody will, and somebody will buy it and keep it as a rental. There's no shortage of people who will buy anything they can get sub 2. I'm just not one of them. So my advice and my recommendation then is you can still contract it sub 2, and then you can still wholesale it just like any other wholesale deal. So how that works, and Juan, I'm talking to you if you're listening. So how that works is you'll do your contract, and in your purchase price, you can either use the sub 2 contract we provide you, or you can just use your regular contract. But in the purchase price, you will write $92,000 taken subject to the existing mortgage, so that it's known that you are buying it sub 2. Then you will assign it just like you will assign any other contract. So now you might market it to your investor list, or you might market it on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist. Say sub 2 available, $8,000 down, and take over mortgage of $92,000, or $5,000 down, or $10,000 down, and take over mortgage subject to mortgage of $92,000. So then once you find your buyer, now you do a regular assignment, just like you would do if you were wholesaling a regular deal. You submit both the assignment and the contract to the attorneys, and at closing, your buyer now has to bring the $8,000 or whatever price you negotiated as the down payment. Your seller comes in and signs off that he's selling it sub 2. He's not getting anything, but he's getting someone else taking over that mortgage. And then you're going to get the assignment fee, which let's just say it was $8,000. So the buyer's going to bring in $8,000 plus his closing costs. The seller's going to come in and sign over his deed. And then you're going to come in and pick up your check for the assignment fee, $8,000. And so that's exactly the way it works. It's a piece of cake. It's easy deals because there's so many people that are 2005 Scott who will buy anything that they can buy if it's sub 2, and they're happy to put down $5,000 or $10,000 because they don't have to qualify for a mortgage, and they just want to build their rental portfolio. And not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just not what I do anymore. So I hope this helps. Let me know if you have any further questions on it, because this is a real simple way. You already got the seller, piece of cake. You're going to contract it. We're going to market it. You're going to pick up a check for $8,000, and then we're going to go and have ourselves a margarita toast. So it's all I wanted to share with you guys today, because I think it's a strategy you guys need to add to your toolbox, because you can do this on deals that don't work otherwise. If I'm able to straight wholesale, I always prefer to straight wholesale. But if you have deals with no equity and the seller's like, listen, I'm walking away, or I just want someone to take this over, this is always a great tool to have in your tool belt. And you can use this strategy and pick up an extra 5, 8, 10 grand, sometimes more, depending on the deal. If you're dealing with higher dollar houses, it can be 20 or 30 grand. So definitely remember this, add it to your toolbox, and it's something you can make some extra money with. That's all I got for you guys today. I want you to do something today that your future self is going to thank you for, and you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And Alex, this was just for you to see if I actually hear it to the end.